It was a good debate. It was a sharp debate. It was a smart debate, and I really enjoyed it. It showed me that all 10 candidates, any one of those 10 candidates, could plausibly become president of the United States and could do the job well. But, of course, only a few stand out from the crowd, and it's been consistent. Debate after debate after debate. I have to say that Elizabeth Warren was definitely a star on that stage tonight because she just cuts through the clouds, and she cuts through all the smoke and mirrors, and she gets to the heart of it, and she knows how to communicate her message very well. She's articulate, and she speaks directly to the heart and soul of the people. And I'm very proud of her. And I have to tell you, I sold her short at the beginning of the campaign. I did not give her a dime's worth of credibility to be president. But I've changed my mind. And she's changed my mind. She has won me over. She is a fantastic and plausible candidate for the presidency. I give her a lot of credit. And she's on the correct side of most of the issues. Now, it doesn't change the fact that I believe the #1 issue is Medicare for all, health care, a single-payer system, and that's why I'm always enthusiastic about my brother Bernie Sanders. And I think he did a fantastic job tonight. Although I will say that his voice was a little weaker than normal, a little raspier than normal. I think he's tired. I think he needed a little bit of a rest. But he still showed that fighting spirit, which is what I like about Bernie Sanders. He's willing to take the fight wherever it goes. He's willing to stand up for his convictions. He's willing to be honest and truthful in whatever he says, and what he believes is his authentic self. What he's saying today is what he said 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. He's consistently authentic. That's why I love Bernie Sanders. I'm rooting for him all the way. He's for Medicare for all. I'm for Bernie Sanders. But, of course, we also have Joe Biden. Good guy. I've liked Joe Biden all my life. I was a supporter of his in the 1988 presidential campaign before he had to withdraw. He's a good guy, but I believe Joe Biden is a yesterday candidate. I think we're at a point now where we're ready to move forward, to look forward with a vision of progressivism that meets the complex needs of the people of the country today, not bring it back to a safe era, because there is no more safe era in the past. Don't forget, the Great Recession upended everything, and we are still dealing with the effects of the Great Recession. Even though the recession's over, prosperity has arrived. It left a scar on the people of this country that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, as an example, are addressing directly. The other candidates are articulate and smart as well. They're compassionate and empathetic. But I just think that Joe Biden is yesterday's candidate. Now, Andrew Yang, I have to say this. I was really disappointed I didn't see him crowd surfing tonight on the stage, off the stage. I would have loved to see that. Did you guys see that on the video this week? He was crowd surfing at a campaign rally. I like Andrew Yang. I said this in previous debates. I thought Andrew Yang stood out, and I think he stood out again tonight. He's another guy that's very sharp, very smart, very accomplished, and he's speaking about issues that no one else is talking about, and he's framing his issues and his answers in a way that are refreshing, because he's not the typical freeze-dried cookie-cutter politician, and that's exactly what I like about Andrew Yang. I don't think it's possible that he could become the nominee, but if he did become the nominee by some miracle and some lightning strike, I think that would be fantastic. I really think he would make a great president. I don't think he's ever going to get to that point, but I think if he ever became president of the United States, he would do a fantastic job. I'm a big believer in Andrew Yang, and I give him a lot of applause. All the candidates on that stage were good. I'm not a fan of Amy Klobuchar, but she did a good job. And I have to say she was very articulate, and some of her answers were out of the ballpark. Beto O'Rourke, as another example. He was in his home turf, and he did a very good job on the issues that he's so passionate about, especially about gun safety in light of the horrific attacks and murders that occurred, the mass shootings in Texas recently. They all did well. They all did well. But I have to say, Brother Bernie is the guy with the finger on the pulse of the issues that matter most. He's got the fighting spirit. He's tough. He's strong. He's the kind of guy you want watching your back, because for him, it's not about the accumulation of power for power's sake. It's about implementing policies that address the needs of people, and he believes in that. And I like a person who believes in what they're saying and who's so passionate that they'll fight to the death to implement what they believe. And I think that's Bernie Sanders. And Elizabeth Warren is right behind him, right there. So I think we are very fortunate to have such great opportunities and a great choice in this Democratic presidential primary. We got a long road to go. Anything could happen. Surprises could happen. A few more months, we're going to be voting in Iowa, for Pete's sake. And once the Iowa vote comes in February of 2020, then we vote in New Hampshire. By that time, we're going to have really, the field will really be whittled down, and we'll get down to brass tacks. But since my prognostication says that this election so far really comes down to the top three, which is Joe Biden, Mr. Yesterday, Sister Elizabeth Warren, who's got a plan for everything, and she's smart as a whip. She's someone you can't bulldoze or pull the wool over her eyes. And then you got Brother Bernie Sanders, who's authentic, 100% through and through, believes in his issues. And if there's anyone who's going to fight for a Medicare for all, that would be Bernie Sanders. So, that's my opinion of the night. Let's go Democrats. See you at the next debate.